Welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about an American poet, Robert Frost. Robert Frost wrote many poems. Interestingly, his poems were published first in England and then in America. So today we are going to discuss one of the poems written by him, which is named after apple picking. I'm sure many of you already have read it. If you want to listen to it, you can check our playlist where we have uploaded the audiobook of the poem.
And this poem is pretty straightforward in one type of analysis. It's about apple picking and an apple farmer who is having a harvest, and he is going about his day shenanigans of picking an apple and getting tired and just explaining about his day. And it's pretty much it. That's what one analysis can be about, but the other analysis could be much layered and complicated. As we know, Frost was how he wrote. He used to metaphorically link it to many other things.
And all those interpretations can stand together without one of it being the only right way to interpret it.
Yeah.
So, like how we say life is a journey, similarly, when we interpret this poem in different ways, it is like a journey, and you never really reach the point. But while you are interpreting it, you can see it in different ways. You get to know various aspects related to it.
The poem is written just like that, just like life, and the poem is structured in that way. And I also noticed and read somewhere that the poem is for so the poem is written in 42 lines, and some of those lines are in iambic pentameter, as you know, unstressed followed by a stressed syllable, pair of 5. But some of the lines, I believe 20 of those lines are end rhymes. So this also is parallel to the state of this apple picker farmer here, when it denotes when he's walking and when he's in a dream state in the poem. So it's not very clear from the words that the poet has used, but it is somewhere, it becomes more clear when we look at the structure more deeply.
Can we say that the apple picker is an old man?
Yeah, I think we can. I think the fact that he's tired, but anyone can be tired from a day's work.
Yeah. Somewhere when you talked about the pattern of the poem, its style, there it when you were saying it is different, somewhere it is end rhyme and then iambic pentameter. That also uh, made me feel it's like how an old person walks or experiences life. Like they are not very active, but they have experience. They can also feel everything. So the way they walk, like very leisurely at times. So
Yeah,
yeah, dreamlike state maybe.
absolutely. Because one of the interpretations, also to support your statement here that the person is old, the in that support, I think there's also one interpretation where it could be believed that here the narrator or the poet is talking about not just the act of apple picking, but also somewhere where he is hanging in um, and looking forward to death. He's in his last stages and is looking forward to his death in that state of dreaming. Also, this whole state of dreaming makes me think that this could be something like the last vision or maybe the last moments of a person when someone is dying, you hallucinate. Even in the story that we recently read, Last Leaf, talking about or lingering to those fantasies and imaginations is what people do when they die. And that is what he's doing now, maybe talking about apple picking in just a bizarre way.
Yeah. However, if we see the title, it says after apple picking, but when we look at the beginning of the poem, it is more about when the moment when he is picking the apples.
It is never about after apple picking. I feel like even at in the end, the poet has ended the whole thing not being very dubious of whether this sleep is a death, is a long sleep, or this sleep is like a normal human sleep. So it's never after the apple picking. It's always in, we are always left to our own interpretations here through this poem, I think.
Uh, then the symbol of apples could also be taken as the ambitions that we have in our lives, and how we strive to achieve success in different ways.
More. Yeah.
Yeah, and how we always want more. Once we have reached a place, we always look for what is next, and
Hmm.
then it goes on. It never ends. So there is
Ends,
no
yeah.
after to it. It's always going on.
So he says this in one of two of the lines, I think, for I have had too much. So when he's saying that he's done with apple picking, I have had too much of apple picking. I'm overtired of the great harvest I myself desired. So he's kind of agreeing with this, that he has desired this much, he has achieved this much, but still like he's going on. So yeah, I think what you're saying is making absolute sense.
In the initial lines, where there is a phrase on the ladder and how it is two pointed,
Hmm.
it also has a maybe it also has a biblical reference to the events which were mentioned in the book of Genesis
Yeah.
about Jacob's ladder and the fall of Adam and Eve, and how the two ladders represent heaven and hell, if I'm not wrong.
Even the poet has used the word heaven. So my two pointed ladders sticking through the tree toward heaven still. So this again confirms or reestablishes what you just said about heaven and hell.
Yeah. Now, before we end the video, I would like to mention how the falling of the apple can also be related to the fall of man.
And
Somewhere, the poet might not feel the same. He might not feel that the apples which are fallen have actually fallen. They are
yeah.
still useful because juice can be made out of it. But at the same time, because they have fallen, only juice can be made out of. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um, even though they are not bruised,
Hmm.
it's considered fallen and are sent to make cider, apple cider.
Yeah.
That's it for our video.
That's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed watching it. We'll be we'll come back again with a new video. Thank you.
Thank you.